Hi everyone, I'm Harleen from the marketing team at AdYogi, and today I'm thrilled to be joined by Anshuk Agarwal, the co-founder at AdYogi. In today's discussion, we'll be exploring the rise of first-party data and the deprecation of third-party cookies into the changing world of marketing data. So Anshuk, my first question to you is, as we've been hearing that Chrome's cookie deprecation will take place in early 2025, but what exactly does that mean for the advertisers, and like how does that play into the difference between the first party and the third party data?
Right, absolutely. So there is a lot of talk about third-party cookie deprecation, and the original timeline was supposed to be starting from July this year. Google has very recently moved it to next year, but I thought we'll try to make it very simple for everybody to understand. So, what is first-party and what is third-party data? First-party data is what a brand collects on their own website. This could be people registering on the website, people buying from your website, people subscribing for your newsletter. And third party data is usually the data which you buy from third party sources. These are not necessarily people who are your customers who have interacted with you. This is something which you will buy from a third party too, right? So that's the third party, first party data. Now, in this context, we are talking about first party, third party cookie, right? And I try to make it simple. Imagine you go to a website and you click on the login button, and your username and password is already put in there, and you just click and log in, right? So this is done by first party cookies. So first party cookies are very, very important because they enrich the user experience on the website, and these are your own customers being able to use your own tool or website in a better fashion. Third party cookies on the other side are largely used for advertising purposes. Most of the talk is around third party cookies, which Meta or Google might have put on the website. So if I go on a website, let's say a fashion brand website, and there is a Meta cookie put on the website, which is not from the brand.com, but from Meta or Google, that is known as third-party cookie, because the website is abc.com, but the cookie comes from a third-party player like Meta or Google. So that's the basic difference between first and third-party cookies.
Got it. So, as the third party deprecation is taking place, how is Meta adapting its ad platform to the new privacy focused landscape?
Yes. So because there is a lot of talk around third-party cookie deprecation, right? What is important to understand is what impact will get created, right? So in very simple language, I can tell you. So imagine I go to a D2C brand website for the first time. Okay, I see a product on the website, I add the product to cart, and I drop off. Okay, now I've never logged in on the website, right? The D2C brand has no clue who am I, right? In the event when the third party cookies exist, right, Meta would have the cookie on the website. So Meta will be able to figure out who am I, and they will be able to retarget them when I go to Facebook or Instagram. Okay. In the event when third party cookies are deprecated, okay, Meta will not be able to figure out who am I because the cookie is not there on the website, right? The brand anyways does not know who am I because I'm going to the brand website for the first time. So if I drop out after add to cart, they will not be able to show me cart abandonment ads. And because they are not able to show me cart abandonment ads, my dynamic remarketing efficacy will go down. And even view content remarketing campaigns efficacy will come down, right? So this is a basic problem which brands will face after third-party deprecation. How can they solve them? One solution here is Conversions API, which Meta has rolled out. What Meta is suggesting here is instead of sending the information from the browser, which is basically Chrome in most cases or Safari in most cases, you can actually send this information from server to server. So you can probably send this information from the Shopify backend directly to Meta backend and not rely on browser altogether. If you don't rely on browser, you don't rely on cookie. then it's more like a server to server interaction. So this is something which Meta has rolled out, even Google has rolled out. This is known as enhanced conversions in Google's language.
Got it. It's pretty interesting. So, can Meta's Cappy completely replace third-party cookies in regards to ad targeting, retargeting, cart abandonment, and what if the users are not logged in?
Correct. So, see, Meta Cappy is just a way of sending first-party information to Meta without relying on the pixel and cookie. Okay, but we still need to understand that it's a channel opened by Meta to send the information. The actual information still needs to be sent by the brand. Okay, so in my first example, if the user is not logged in, right, and the user is a completely new user on the website, the brand will not have my email ID, the brand will not have my phone number, right? So even if they use Cappy, they will not be able to send email ID and phone number as part of the Cappy, right? And if they are not sending email ID and phone number, then Meta will not be able to identify me. And the assumption here is third-party cookies are deprecated, right? So in this case, if a user is not logged in and a user is completely new and you still use Meta Cappy, we will still not be able to show a dynamic remarketing ad if the user drops off on the website, either on the add to cart button or on the view content button. So this is a limitation of Cappy, not technically a limitation, but this is a challenge which brands will face after third-party deprecation in spite of using Cappy, that they will not be able to remarket absolutely new users who are not logged in.
Got it. So, how can e-commerce websites identify previously converted users if they were not logged in by the data sent by Cappy to Meta?
Correct. So this is where I think the onus of sending information to Meta correctly now resides with the brand. And I'll give you a very small example. Okay, imagine you went to a brand website and you purchased, let's say, some necklace, right? Or you purchased an earring. Okay, Halim. Now, the moment you purchased that, you would have put in your email ID and phone number. Okay, so the brand has already identified you and linked you to some first party cookie. Okay, now 3 months later you go back to the same website. Okay, now this time you don't log in, you view a different product. Let's say it's a new bestseller on the website. You add the product to cart and you drop off. Okay, technically, because the first party cookies still exist and they have not been deprecated, the brand should be able to connect your first visit to your second visit, which happened in a gap of, let's say, 2 to 3 months. Okay, and because in the first visit you placed an order, your email ID and phone number is with the brand. Okay, so you are not an unknown user anymore. You have placed an order with the brand, right? So they should be able to connect your second visit to your email ID and phone number, and they should be able to send this information to Conversions API via Conversions API to Meta. So effectively saying, in your second visit, even if you are not logged in, if the brand is able to connect the two events together and identify you using the first party cookie and identify your email ID and phone number and send it to Meta, Meta will still be able to do dynamic remarketing or cart abandonment ads on top of it. The only difference is now the onus of setting that information resides with the brand. Earlier, it was okay if you didn't send the information because Meta had third-party cookie. Now, the prerogative of sending the information is with the brand.
Got it. So, Anshuk, my last question to you is that how can e-commerce boost the capture of first-party data, and are there any tools to streamline the integration for Meta's ad targeting?
Correct. So, the brands definitely need to start thinking about how can they use the right tools to stitch the customer information together. And the customer information need not just be website and website. I gave you an example of going to you purchasing on the first thing on the website and then coming back again 3 months. The same thing can happen on app to website. It can happen from offline to website. Imagine you stepping into a Forest Essentials store then you received an SMS or WhatsApp from them as an offline customer, then you clicked on the ad and then you landed on the website, right? So there would always be multiple touch points which you as a consumer will have with their brand, right? Brands now need to bring all those touch points together. They need to link those touch points to an identifiable customer, which is your email ID and phone number, and they need to send this information to Meta Cappy or enhanced conversions every time you interact with the brand. Okay, so this can be done using CDP, customer data platform. There are multiple tools out there which do that, but the requirement can vary from a brand to brand. So identifying the right CDP solution will also become important. But the longer story short is, if you are a brand today, you need to be able to stitch multiple interactions together, and you need to be able to send first party data to all the ad platforms to make your dynamic remarketing work correctly. And that's where the big change will happen once third party cookies start to deprecate next year.
So that's all from my end. Thank you so much for joining us today, Anshuk. It was a fantastic chat with you, and I'm pretty sure that this topic is a crucial understanding for all the marketers out there, because this is what the hot topic currently is.
Thank you so much, Harleen. It was a pleasure interacting with you, and I hope this sort of demystified the whole mystery around first party and third party and what's the big change happening.